What's up, my YouTube? Wow, what's going on? Johnny Mo, Johnny Mo. What's going on? Today, I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to talk for a little bit. We're going to talk about some equipment. I've been meaning to do this video. Some of the equipment that I like. This is just opinion based, period. There's some equipment that I really like. There's some, just giving you my opinion about equipment because everyone's looking at equipment. I get this question all the time. Hello, Long King Landscape. What's up? What's up? I get this question all the time. What kind of equipment should I buy? This and that. Well, if you ask it right here, I'll give you my opinion on what I think of this equipment. It's just what I think of it. Doesn't mean it is absolutely set in stone. Different areas require. What's going on, Sam? I am. Different places, different cases. You know, the equipment that I like might not work. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ah, man, my eyes got to get my glasses on. What's the Miller Man, whatever it is, Millennial Man. So we're talking about equipment, and we're talking about standards. What's up, Freeport? We're talking about zero turns. We're talking about whatever you want to talk about equipment-wise. This is your place to ask any question about equipment. What's up, L&M? Tina Grass Monkey? The Miller Man. The Miller Man. This is your place to ask those questions. I'll start off the rip. As far as standards go, there has been a new big boy to enter the market. There's a big boy stander. It's by Scag. It has a 37 EFI. It is a big boy. It entered into the market. My favorite is the Z3 Ferris, but you have the Ferris, the ZK Killer, and now you have that. You have the Scag Standard 2, that V-Ride 2. I'm telling you, those are the three big boys. And then you move down a notch. If you move down a notch, I like the Z2 from Ferris. I also like the Toro Grandstand. The reason why the Grandstand is not in the upper tier, here comes that Spring Rush Trap. There it is. There it is, Spring Rush Trap. The reason why I don't have the Toro up into the major market is the engine. Until you can get above that 30 horsepower, I just don't think they're a big boy standard. I love the Toro standard. So I love the Toro Grandstand. Sticking with my 72, the Scag Thursday will be in. We're going to demo it on Thursday. Let me know how that is. Spring Rush gets the phone. What's your thoughts on the Multi-Force? Like I said, I like it. I just don't. The engine's options aren't there for me for Toro as of right now. I like the Z2 with 28 EFI. I do like the Toro Grandstand, the Multi-Force with the 25 EFI. I just don't think it's in that upper tier with Wright, ZK Killer, and the Scag has entered the market now. And obviously, I still think the best standard, Comfort Plus engine, deck, speed is the Z3. I do like the ZK Killer. I think it's a fast one. I'm not a big. I think it has the motor. I think it has the engineering. I just don't think the deck is up to par. My favorite mowers to look at are definitely Scag by far. The look of a mower for me, Scag does it for me. And if their deck was better in the Northeast for where I'm from, I would probably own a whole fleet of those suckers, a whole fleet. I love the way they look. I love the build quality. Love the look. The deck to me just doesn't cut the mustard up here. And it's my opinion. I've owned one. I put 75 hours on it. I had to sell it. I took a $500 loss. It just did not cut the mustard. It made a mess and it couldn't clean it up. And, I know there's other people. Johnny, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about, Johnny. They said it could cut good in wet grass. Nothing ever sticks to the deck. I found that to be absolutely false. I thought everything stuck to the deck. I was always cleaning it out, and I was always dealing with, real long grass clippings and hay looking. And then you try to clean it up. You cut 3 or 4 different, cut it 3 or 4 different times, You come back and there'd be dead stuff in the grass. It would turn white. It wasn't for me. And there's guys still here today that use Scag 52s, 61s, the V rides. And I'm telling you, every time I go by their properties, they always look poopy. They always look just it just doesn't do a good job here for us. So, but by far the best striper is a Scag. The best looking to me is a Scag. There you go. Craftsman will work if you get it to work. That's looks and striping. I and power and the moves they're making as a company is pretty awesome. They got that big blower that came out. I think Scag, if the deck could work, I would definitely own one. I would like to have a Scag Cheetah with a 37 EFI. That would be my ideal mower for me. But obviously, it's not going to work. Obviously, it's not going to work here. So ask away. I just gave you the standards I like. As far as zero turns, whatever cuts in your area, I told you. If Scag worked in your area, I'd probably own a whole fleet of them. I like the way they look. I like the engine option, and I like them. They're built tough. As far as my favorite cutting deck, everyone knows this, is Toro and Exmark. I think they're awesome. I don't think you can go wrong with them. Around here, Exmark and Toro, they are awesome. But as soon as they get into wet grass, that's when you start running into some problems. They like to throw a lot of clumps. I've never worked a Grasshopper. I've heard very good things about Grasshopper. I'll tell you this, Grasshopper, Walker, and Scag, the people that own them, they are diehards. And if you say one bad word about them, you can just forget about it. Now, I've been asked this question before about the Spartan. I'm sure Spartan is a great deck. I'm sure Spartan is going to become a great company. But in this day and age, we will hate you forever. In this day and age, it's really hard to break into the market. And just for me, now this is for me, please don't take this as write it in stone, make tablets, and it becomes the law of God. Because in this day and age, it's really hard. It's really, really hard to build a mower company up. And I would say probably Spartan is going to need to be bought out by a bigger company. Me personally, I'd be afraid to buy one and have them go out of business. You guys probably don't remember this, but Great Dane was probably one of the first standards I ever seen out. And I don't know how long they lasted, but they didn't last long. And so what happens is you buy this mower and 5 years down the road, they can't make it. Another company that used to come out, they came out, all they did was make little green walk behinds. And then they went out of business. And so for me, I'd hate to buy a mower and 4 years down the line, the company folds up and you're stuck with a mower and that's just me, but don't write that in stone, please. Please don't write that in stone. Let's see here. I've been running X marks for the last few years solo. I have beat on it and it's done me well. I did demo a Grasshopper this summer and it cut great, but pricey and super ugly. Dixie Chopper. Dixie Chopper's it's just not around here. Also Denver John Deere. Thought it cut fantastic. Florida year cutting Baja grass at 5 inches. The Scag V-Rod is the best for the grass. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The Spartan does look good, but he does speak for the quality. But that doesn't speak for quality. They stole the Walker design. I meant right. I wasn't there. A company called Dixon that made zero turns. I run Toro Grandstander. Hey, Johnny, starting to clean up March 1st. Cool. That's awesome, guys. That's absolutely awesome. Ask away. Any equipment. I'll give you how I feel about it. And again, it's just my opinion. It's not written in stone. It's just how I feel. I get these questions all the time, so I wanted to do a live and just put it all out there. What I think of the equipment after all the years I've been in business, just talk about it. Best pole hedge trimmer. You know what? There's so many out there. I think they're all good. The Red Max 8550 is working good. Stand on versus sit on. I've talked about this. It's not even close for me. Um, Sit down. It's not even close. And when it comes to leaf loaders, I like the more horsepower. I think the smaller ones will anger you. No, I don't run any detacher rakes or anything like that. A person just asked me about sit down or stand up. I've answered this question in the past. It's a very controversial question. Like right now, stand on companies, because they're selling a lot of mowers. They're trying to rewrite marketing. They're trying to make you believe. They're telling you things that just listen. Just in my experience, this is my experience. I had a stand-on mower for 1 month. I had the Fair Z2. It was speedy. It hugged hills very good. It was a 28 EFI. It was phenomenal. I have no issues with it. So what I found is on the bigger properties, I found that my sit down zero turn was definitely faster. The 8010 is the most powerful backpack blower out there. It is. It is. I found though, in just basically blowing out beds. What I mean by blowing out beds is their beds are filled with leaves, and I have a steel BR800. I did not find that the 8010 got them done any faster. Because I was really fast going side to side with my BR800. And another thing is I can make that tube come in a little bit, and I can get right down on top of the bushes where you can't do that with the 8010. So I found that the BR800 was actually faster in blowing out beds and getting it into the lawns. Where I saw that the 8010 was faster than the BR or maybe even the Red Max is when you get it in the lawn and you're trying to push it across the lawn and into the woods. I felt that the 8010, once you started getting up into the bigger piles, moved them much faster. But if you're down into the smaller piles and you're just moving a little bit of leaves, it's no faster. And I get a lot of people. Yeah, listen, I've owned all of them. I owned them. I used them. I've owned them. I sold the Echo 8010. That tells you a lot. I was the first person on YouTube to note the issue with the 8010. I was probably one of the first, besides the guys that got them for free, to have one. I was the first one on here. It's definitely more powerful. The bigger the leaves, the more you notice the power. The smaller the leaves, I mean, there's videos out there. You can go look at Brian's Lawn Maintenance. When they blow into a pile, the Steel 800 is blowing them just as far as the 8010. Also, that was my experience with the Echo 8010. Owning it, I thought that I was blowing out beds faster with the BR800 because the tube collapses in, and you can go like this real quick through the bed. Whereas you can't do that with the 8010. Also, the 800 can be used to remove shrub clippings. Whereas the big 8010 with that long nozzle and tube, you're trying to blow the shrub clippings out. You're blowing everything out. You're blowing the bush almost over. I mean, you just pruned the bush, you tightened it up, and now you're hitting it with a bunch of air. You blow it over, and now it comes with sprigs all around the side. And these are the things that people don't really think of. So if you want to just move mounds and mounds of leaves across the lawn, I truly believe the 8010 is your ticket. But if you're using this for all year round, I truly believe that the 800 is the better of the blowers between the 8550 Red Max and the only reason why it's better than the Red Max, in my opinion, is because, again, I can collapse that tube, go like this, I can get on top of a bush, blow it out, get it out, and go. Whereas these are long tubes that you can't shorten. I mean, if to shorten them, you have to take pieces off, and then you have to put pieces back on. So, I mean, it just takes time. Where the 800, you just, boom, you're done. That's just my opinion. I know people are going to, you don't know what you're talking about, Johnny. I've owned them. I've owned all the blowers. I've owned the 8500. I've owned the 8550. I've owned the BR600, BR700, BR800, the 8010, the PB700. It's just, to me, it's not even, it's not really close. If you want an all around great backpack, it's the BR800. It just depends on what lineup you're in. If you're in the Red Max line, the 8550, I felt that by the end of the season was just a smidge more powerful than the BR800. Now I do need my valves adjusted, but I felt that the 8550 had just a little bit more oomph to get those leaves. But when I was moving leaves and I had to move them to a specific spot in the yard, the 8010 definitely pushed bigger piles further. But when you're just doing regular leaves and the leaves there's not that many, when you shoot it into the pile, my 800 was throwing it just as far as the 8010. There's videos all about that, all out there. So you can go to Brian's Lawn Maintenance. He pushed it. You see it. By the time you looked at